Hey guys, so today I thought I would talk about a day trip I took to Rye. Probably like a month and a half ago, I was doing a house sit in Bognor Regis for this lovely couple, and I was watching their two dogs, their two cats, and they were going to Rye to the Mermaid Inn just to kind of have like a nice staycation here in the UK. And when they came back, they showed me like all these pictures of their lovely trip, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So I thought, if I have a chance, I should go down to Rye. And so 2 weeks ago, I think, I was doing a sit on the other side of London at Bromley South, and I had some days left on my rail pass. I made another video about my rail pass. So basically, Brit Rail Pass, I got the Flexi Pass so you could travel however many trains on that day with that pass, and it saved me probably $900. So it definitely worked out for the best. I didn't even use all the days. I think I had like 6 or 7 days left that I didn't end up using. So I would have, like, if I would have used all of the days, I probably would have saved so much money, but I didn't end up having to use them all. But I decided to go to Rye to use one of my train passes, and it was an interesting experience to say the least. Where I was, Bromley South, it takes about 2.5 hours from there to get to Rye, because you have to I have to take a bus to the train station to Victoria, from Victoria to the next, I think it was Ashford, and then Ashford to Rye. So that takes about 2.5 hours one way. And so I get to Ashford and they're doing announcements because they were having a bonfire weekend celebrations in Rye that day and that weekend. They were stopping all trains for the next 3 days after 1:30 p.m. So I was at Ashford, I think it was 11:30. I would get to Rye by noon. So that meant I had an hour and a half in Rye, even though I'd spent 2.5 hours getting there and it was gonna take 2.5 hours back. So that's just something to keep in mind, especially with holidays and maybe more rural places when you're doing day trips from London, that may happen to you. So I was kind of like nervous. I'm like, I don't want to miss the train and have to like catch an Uber to Ashford to get back to Bromley South. So I ended up spending an hour and a half there, and it was pretty packed full of people because of the bonfire celebrations. I think there's going to be a parade. They're selling like party supplies on carts, and it was just jam-packed full of people. They had a really nice high street that was full of boutiques and like reselling vintage items. And I don't know if I was just so used to things in Wolverhampton and like things just being more affordable near Birmingham, but I feel like a lot of the charity shops that I've gone to in London and in Rye have just been extremely expensive. Like, they don't make sense how expensive they are. Like, they cost the same if you would buy the item new, which I don't really get. But anyway, so I spent an hour and a half in Rye. I got to see the Mermaid Inn where that lovely couple had stayed. I got to go explore all the antique shops and the vintage stores. I got so many cups of coffee this day because it was a bit chilly and I had a light coat. So I was just kind of like getting cups of coffee, drinking them and being like, why am I so like shaky? And I'm like, it's because you've just drank coffee today. So that was my day in Rye. It was a really nice town. I think I would like it more if I went when it was less busy, because it was quite claustrophobic. It was difficult to walk. You couldn't go into a store because they were so full. And yeah, it was not my favorite thing. So that's my experience going to Rye. I did end up getting the trains back all the way, and I didn't miss anything. I didn't get stuck, so that was good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a nice week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!